Welcome to the first edition of the Campfire. We're starting off by analyzing the private school ranks in Class 3A in our film session presented by the Houston area Chevy dealers. Houston is home to the 3A Division I defending state champs as Columbus won their first ever football championship last year and going 15-1. The Cardinals say goodbye to their big stars like quarterback Adam Schobel and all-everything running back Grayson Rigdon. But the cupboard isn't completely bare of Schobels. Jack Schobel, a junior next year, will be stepping in behind center. Columbus now has a new standard of excellence, and despite the graduation of a lot of seniors, Cardinal fans should expect a deep playoff run. The team that stuck Columbus with their only loss, Hitchcock, is also reloading. They had a nice 4-year run with Lloyd Chubby Jones and Keyshawn Johnson, among others. But it will be time for a new breed of Bulldogs to step up. And you can't forget about Edna. The Cowboys were in back-to-back state semifinals. And despite losing their head coach, they do return District Defensive Player of the Year, Hunter Buring. In Division II, Jeremy Jenkins proved his spread offense would work just fine at traditional ground and pound East Bernard. The Brahmas went 10-2 and only lost those two games by a total of 3 points. We'll have to deal with a district foe, Tidehaven, who's hungry to get back to state title games after falling in a state semi last year. In the private school ranks, the Kincaid School lost their first game of the year and never again as they blew through their SPC schedule. The Falcons took out Bel Air Episcopal in the state championship game and will rely on Wayne Shanks Jr. to carry the load this year in the backfield. Episcopal and St. John's will be teams to watch as well in SPC. As for Taps, Second Baptist will try to get back to a title game behind quarterback Cannon Toon and running back Langston Davis.
The film session is presented by the Houston area Chevy dealers. Together, let's drive. Players on the Rise is brought to you by Parker University. Would you like to help a veteran? Log on to parkerperformanceinstitute.com to learn more about the Invicta Project. The Campfire is brought to you by DQ for treats and eats before and after the game.
For an even deeper dive at Class 3A, here's Ward Fasold and Matt Stepp from Dave Campbell's Texas High School Football with the District Breakdown.
All right, it's District Breakdown time, and I got a new counterpart with me this summer. My main man, Matt Stepp, from Dave Campbell's Texas High School Football. You remember him from the podcast. Now he's going to help me break down these districts all summer long, but I guess we got to start spring because we're only in April, but we're also in Texas. This is in Idaho. We can talk about football here in April, and people will be listening. So
always football season.
Exactly. Let's start this thing off with there's too many districts to talk about every single district until we get to 5A and 6A. So we'll start off with 3A as a whole for the Houston area. Last year we talked about 3A. We obviously didn't talk this early in the season, but we talked in August and we talked about Columbus. But we were like, man, Columbus got to get over that Franklin speed bump. And then we talked about Grayson Rigdon. Yeah, he's the 6-man player of all times, but what's he going to be like in 11-man? Well, Schobel and them just told us to keep quiet and take a look at my ring. Don't worry about us. We got this. But a lot of their best players are graduated. Do they have enough to come back and defend that thing?
That's a good question. I'm not sure they have enough to defend the title. I think this is more of a 2 to 3 round playoff team, in my opinion. If you're a Columbus fan, you got to feel good. You got all 5 offensive linemen back. You got Braylon Fisher back. The key is going to be Jack Schobel taking over at quarterback. He played in the secondary last year. Now he's moving over to take over the offense at quarterback. And I think the offense is going to look a lot different. Adam Schobel, who's now at TCU, much more of a traditional drop-back quarterback. You're going to see a little more QB run game with Jack Schobel, a little more mobile, kind of some zone reads, that type of offense. So they're going to look a lot different. I think they'll still be solid, but I'm not sure they're at a state caliber right now. But I got to feel good bringing all 5 offensive linemen back from last year.
All right, well, next week we're going to talk about 4A. And we got some squads of that one, too. And we're spread out throughout regions in there, too. We'll have some Region 4 action to talk about. We talked a little Region 4 here as well. But we will talk 4A next week. Matt, thanks for joining me, man.
We'll post the entire breakdown segment this Wednesday on our social media pages. Now let's take a look at some game changers in our Players on the Rise, presented by Parker University. Some call quarterback Keyshawn Henderson of the Legacy School of Sports Sciences the best senior athlete in the state. Looking at his tape, I'm not one to argue. As a junior, Henderson nearly 2,700 yards and 25 touchdowns while rushing for 7 more scores and 341 yards. He's a tall, multi-positional athlete who could excel in college at quarterback, wide receiver, or in the secondary. Keyshawn's completion percentage is over 65%. And we'll be taking those talents to the University of Houston for college ball. Tidehaven quarterback Cale Russell is prolific with his arm and his legs. Whichever he chooses, I'm telling you, he's going to get you. The district's MVP, Cale has been a starter for the Tigers for 3 years. Going into his 4th season as Tidehaven signal caller, Russell has 6,200 passing yards, 2,200 rushing yards, and a combined 96 touchdowns. Safe to say, the Tigers will be riding with Cale Russell all season long. Ganado Jr. running back Logan Burris is a special talent while leading the Indians to a state championship. Burris rushed for almost 1,400 yards and 25 total touchdowns. He's back for 2 more years, as Logan is not only lightning quick on his feet and a physical runner, but he's a hard hitter on defense as well. Burris is truly a head-turning performer. The aforementioned Keyshawn Henderson needs a target to put up all those big numbers, and wide receiver Mike Brown will be accommodating. The son of former NFL first-rounder Reggie Brown can hurt you on the outside or in the slot. Mike is a playmaker in the red zone and knows how to make space for his quarterback to get it to him. Brown will be following his dad's footsteps as he's committed to Texas A&M.
The Film Session is presented by the Houston area Chevy dealers. Together, let's drive.
Our Ward for Sold caught up with East Bernard head coach Jeremy Jenkins to talk about his Brahmas in our Media Day segment.
All right, it's Media Day, and we are joined with East Bernard head coach Jeremy Jenkins, who last year was his first year on the job. And that's where I really want to start. How do you feel you got your culture, your message across that first year to the point where maybe at the end of the year, it's like, okay, I got a team that's bought in. We can really build some nice stuff here at East Bernard.
You know, the great thing, this was the first place that didn't need a culture change. You know, the other places, you know, there's some things that you know, really helped me once I got the mentality change. But here, you know, the parents and Coach Bossy were so good. Like, the kids just care and they show up and they do their best all the time. So I don't need to change that culture. So I just kind of piggybacked, you know, off of what was said here. And, you know, it's really a dream for coaches when you have parents that set the culture, and here the parents have expectations of just doing your best all the time. And that's really, you know, if you do your best all the time, you know, that pretty much sets you up for life. So the way we do some things is different. So the kids responded to that right away. You know, the kids really enjoyed the changes we had there. So, you know, we've really hit the ground running.
I guess lastly, talking about last season, you jumped in there, 9 straight wins. Your 2 losses were by what, a total of 3 points, I believe. Talk to me about what you may have learned from those close losses and that you can carry into the 2025 fall season.
So much easier to hand the ball off, right? But really what I've learned is to build a little more depth and just take what the defense gives you. Even if it's a playoff and it's risky, it's a little scary to throw the ball sometimes. But if that's what the defense is giving you, you just got to take it, you know. So
sounds like if Brahmas fans loved your offense last year, man, they might really love it this year if you're opening it up so much. So it sounds like there's going to be some lot of cheering on the sidelines over there at East Bernard. Coach, I appreciate you joining me. I know we're 5 months away, 4 months away, but we're in Texas. We can talk about it anytime.
Football.
Exactly.
I always like it. So,
all right, Coach, thank you very much for joining us, man. Have a great offseason.
Thank you.
You can catch the entire interview Friday on our social media channels. That'll do it for this week's Campfire. Next week, we talk Class 4A. Until then, have a great week.